Hello, everybody. This is Gregory with 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today, we're going to talk about online dating profiles and talk about why are you dating if you're still married. Now, before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et saecula saeculorum. Amen. All right, so this is part of my ongoing Catholic dating marriage playlist, and a lot of these come from just anecdotal evidence. I've mentioned that I am on Catholic Match. If any of you ever want to hit me up, I'm on Catholic Match. And I've noticed on Catholic Match, and certainly on even secular dating profiles like eHarmony and Match, I only filter for Catholic, and we have a previous episode on that. So great episodes to watch are Should You Marry a Non-Catholic? 5 dating mistakes that people put on their dating apps, and so forth. Another good one is on Christian remarriage and annulment, because we're going to talk about that. But I see this pattern, so I filter for Catholic, and then I'll click on these pictures, and a lot of these women are in statuses such as currently separated or divorced. Now, something on Catholic Match is when you have an annulment, you can file the paperwork and it shows in the heading. You can't put annulment on your own. That's a good thing about Catholic Match, is you have to show them paperwork and then they'll put annulled. But on these other sites, I'll notice that like they're Catholic, and I'll just, because I am somewhat a polemicist and I am very inquisitive, I will message these women even if I feel like I'm not interested in them for a variety of reasons why I wouldn't be interested in them. I'll message them and just be polite and be like, hey, you're currently separated, da, 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 da. And it's interesting because so many Catholic women are, as we've talked about in the episode, The Catholic Church Left Me, I Didn't Leave the Church, how Catholics, many of them are too of this world instead of being in this world. And they're doing what we know they shouldn't be doing. They're fornicating. So a lot of these have just filed for divorce, or they are divorced. And why are they in dating apps if they haven't received or filed an annulment? And the large majority of women, and of course this is anecdotal, but the large majority of women that I've messaged haven't even filed for the annulment. And that tells you all you need to know about their faith. So what does that really mean? That tells you that if they find, quote, the right guy, they're going to get married either way. They'll just get married civilly, which of course is fornication, that's what Christ said, or they'll go to a mega church that will gladly marry them and keep them at the church there. And this is frustrating and it angers me. And I have an episode here on 3 Catholic teachings that a lot of Catholics are irked by. And I think certainly the dating remarriage one is certainly one of them. And so, of course, look, if you're currently separated, you're still married to your husband. You're still married. I mean, civilly, you're still married, but sacramentally, assuming you were married sacramentally, most Catholic women were married in the church the first time around. You're still married in the eyes of God. So any man that you sleep with, you're fornicating with. I mean, you're committing adultery, but you're certainly fornicating either way. You shouldn't be having premarital sex, even if you have gotten an annulment or you've never been married. But if you are married, you are committing adultery. But I understand it's hard, right? People get lonely. People want the validation. Men love to desire, and women love to feel desired by men. And so I get it. People don't want to be lonely, and even though they're in the process of a divorce, or let's say they have filed for the annulment, which the large majority of these women have not, it can take a year or even longer. And of course, the spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. But they shouldn't be on dating apps, because anybody you find, unless you're planning to have some sort of Josephite relationship with them until the divorce comes through, and then until you can file for the annulment and wait a year or two, you can't be doing anything sexual with these people. And I know it's hard to hear that, but that's the truth. We must be obedient to Holy Mother Church. We made a vow. If you chose to break the vow, and we know, and this is not to cast aspersions on women initiate divorce 70 to 90% of the time, and it's 90% when college educated. You can Google this and find it. So if you made the choice to divorce, then the least you can do is try to stick to the church's teaching and not fornicate, and don't be dating. So I would tell these women, I'd ask them, hey, have you fought for the annulment? Depending if they're currently separated or they're divorced. But I'll tell them, it's like, in all honesty, the church teaches that X, Y, Z. Or if they are divorced, I'll tell them, the church, you're still married to your husband until the annulment comes in. And look, I know that the annulment passing rate, so to speak, is about 70% in America. But again, if the annulment does not come through, you can appeal it. But if it doesn't come through, then you're not supposed to date or remarry. That's the cross that you have to bear. And we talked about that in the 2-part episode on Christian remarriage. So in closing, look, I just find it sad. I just find it sad that there's so many, and look, I could say the same about Catholic men, but again, I only look at Catholic women profiles. There's so many Catholic women who are still married in the eyes of God to another man, yet they're still open and wanting to find a new man, when any relation or liaison they have with this man would be adultery, and ultimately they don't care. And that's what breaks my heart. And of course, we have to pray for these people, is that they don't care. They're putting the ways and the works of the flesh over church teaching. And that's what breaks my heart. And so if any of you are in this situation, take up your cross, do the proper channels, file for the annulment, wait, and if the annulment's granted, then you can date. But even then, I would tell you, of course, don't fornicate. It is a sin. We have an episode here. 4 scriptural evidences that say fornication will lead you to hell. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Please hit the notification, subscribe, or share button. Share with like-minded people. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.